someone is always lying.
Don't put no headstone on the grave.
Good evening, chocolatiers. So, I just finished His and Hers on Netflix a couple hours ago. I've been sitting there thinking about my thoughts and, just kind of getting everything together and how I want to talk about this show because I really loved it. First new show that I finished of the year. Limited series starring Tessa Thompson and Jon Bernthal. Jon Bernthal I love so much. Watch anything that he's in. Let me tell you something. And, I was watching this and, it was getting a lot of hype or whatever. I think it came on Friday. And I almost didn't review this because, I've mentioned it before. The way the algorithm likes my channel, if I would have talked about this Saturday or Sunday, maybe even Monday, probably would have gotten, pushed out there. But whenever I talk about something kind of after like that 3-day limit, whatever. And so I was going to talk about it on my podcast later on in the week. But based on the ending of this show, I was like, no. I don't care if 2 people watch this. Got to get this out here. This show is fucking incredible. It is so good. So the basic premise, if you don't know, if you haven't watched this show, if you have Netflix, I definitely recommend watching the show if you haven't seen it. So you have Jon Bernthal and his wife, Tessa Thompson. By the time the show starts off, they're still married, but they're kind of like split and separated. And that is because their child, like their little baby, I think like maybe less than a year old, has died. And Tessa, they don't really get into all that stuff. And I'm not going to spoil anything around like that. I'm just going to get into the episode 1 kind of plot that you get. This is 6 episodes, by the way. It's a limited series based on a book. And so basically their baby's dead. And she just kind of like up and abandons. Like she leaves her mom behind, who's stuck in this small town. She leaves Jon Bernthal, who is working on this police force, like they're, the county sheriff or whatever. And yeah, she's gone for a year. And she comes back. She tries to get her old job back in Atlanta at this news station. But this other girl's taken over that she used to work with. And a big murder happens in the town. This girl, or this woman, I guess now, that was, really highfalutin rich, whatever, is now dead. She's murdered. And Tessa Thompson is like, hey, want my job back, let me get back in the field. So she goes out in the field. Clearly, she knows her husband lives there, and you have those kind of butting heads. Meanwhile, you also are kind of sitting there thinking, because by the way that first episode starts, you're really sitting there wondering, you're like, okay, did Tessa Thompson kill this woman? And at multiple points, you're like, okay, did this person do it? Did this person do it? And by the end of the first episode, you're even sitting there thinking about Jon Bernthal being a suspect. And the show does a really great job at throwing these people at you. It's very much kind of like a Scream feel, where you're like, it could be you, but it could be both of you. It could be one of you, could be none of you. And it really just does a really great job, like I said, of throwing these people at you, giving you motivations for all these people. Even by the last episode, because, I'm really good at catching stuff, right? Like when I watch like Knives Out, any of those, I'm like, whatever. Scream, even the last Scream, I guessed who 2 of the killers were out of the 3. And if you haven't seen that, I'm not going to spoil that. But even that, I'm usually close. And this show, I'm just going to tell you, they got me. I was like, oh, this is definitely what it is. Final episode, I'm like, I was right. And then they're like, no, actually, we have 20-something minutes left. And I was like, oh, fuck. They got me. So I would actually argue, weirdly enough, that that's kind of probably my only complaint with the show. Not that they got me. I'm not a sore loser. It's just the fact that when you realize what happened and they show you the twists and turns, that shit kind of comes out of left field. Especially like when you learn who the, I'll leave it vague, killer or killers are. You're kind of like, huh. You're like, okay, it makes sense how this happened, this, that, whatever. But I really love a whodunit, like, Murder on Orient Express or like Knives Out, stuff like that, where they really, and I'm not saying it has to be like that, but I'm just saying, like, where they give you these suspects and it's kind of up to you, while you're watching the show, while you're watching the movie, to like fully be like, okay, whatever. But by the end of it, I was like, okay, like I would have never gotten here. I'm sure there's people out there, I can hear it now, they're going to be on the keyboards, they're going to be like, oh my God, dumbass. Episode 1, I actually knew that. It's like, okay, you can say that all fucking day long, all right? And you might be right. I'm sure you are. But I didn't see it coming. Especially the last 20 minutes, I was like, fuck. Okay, whatever. But even that, I'm not going to take all points. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm not going to take all points. This is an excellent show. It's got great performances. Jon Bernthal in particular sticks out to me because he's one of those actors I feel like everybody loves to see, but nobody like we were talking about like best actors, best TV show actors and stuff, whatever. Like nobody really brings them up. Like everything he's in, I was looking back at that today. I was like, has he ever played anything bad? I'm sure he has. Don't go look it up. But just me thinking, off the top of my head, I'm thinking like, okay, Walking Dead, he left before it got really bad, right? Punisher is really good. I'm sure the Odyssey this year is going to be really good. I really love The Accountant 1 and 2. And I'm just kind of sitting there thinking like, dude, even including this in his roster, he's like really always bringing his A game. And same with Tessa Thompson. I didn't get to watch Hedda from last year. I plan on watching it later on in the next month or so. But I'm like, you have two people that are just really kind of, because once again, they're button heads in this show because, he was looking for, right? And she didn't want to be found and their child just died. And like, this man lost everything, right? And then on top of her losing everything, she's pissed off at him because there's revelations about him. There's stuff like that. And what I really love about his character is because he has his partner, for example. And it's one of those things where it's like, if he just trusts his partner even at 5%, maybe some of the things that happened in the later half of the season wouldn't have happened. Because like Jon Bernthal just does so many crazy things. Once again, I have to walk on eggshells the way I'm talking about this. If you think I'm seeming a little off, it's because like if I tell you 5 more words, it's probably a spoiler because this is a whodunit, so I can't get too much into it. But it is an excellent show. It's an excellent whodunit. I think that it's really good. Like I said, whodunit to me a little cheap. Maybe in the book they give you a little bit more this and that, but like to me, I was like, I would have never guessed that. Okay. But it is really good. The story's really good. The motivation behind the killer is really good. The motivation behind everything that's going on is really good. I wish that we'd have maybe got a little bit more investigating, but I guess by the end of it, you're kind of like, well, what the hell will we investigated? But it's really good. You get a lot of background, even like that. I guess I want to touch on that too, with Tessa Thompson's character. The actress they get to play the younger version of her looks just like her. It's actually kind of crazy. And I really loved all that stuff. And there was just really nothing I disliked about this. And even like that perfect fucking runtime. It's 6 episodes, which is like a little under 6 hours because like some of them are 48 minutes, some of them are like almost an hour, whatever. Some of them are an hour. And it's just like perfect. Like you could binge this in a day. I didn't watch it the day of because I had to catch up on stuff. Pitt came out, filmed a podcast. Saturday I was at the movies. Sunday I was filming reviews. And so I really didn't start until Sunday evening. But I am glad I got around to watching it, and I think that you guys should watch this too. And I think that it is almost perfect. I think there's a few things here or there I would tweak and change, especially like a really odd thing that I won't get into because that's a spoiler. But yeah, I think this is very excellent. I think it's very well written. And if you are one of those ones that's read the book, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on that. Is it like the book to a T? Did they change some stuff that pissed you off? Did they leave everything in and that made you happy? How do you feel? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
That's premeditated. It's personal.
One of us might know.